Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new series I want to do called Annoying Political Issues. In this, I want to talk about consistent political hot button issues that I find incredibly bothersome that people love to drone on and on about despite seemingly no solution ever being established. And our first subject is the wonderful political debate on immigration. This has been a very pressing political issue since after the 1980s, and the divide is rather straightforward. Illegal immigration into the United States from South American countries has increasingly become a pressing matter. One half of people in the US say that immigrants should be deported, and the other half of people say they should be allowed to stay. Except that's not really the whole story. There's gray areas to this, such as perhaps they can get granted amnesty or receive a pathway to citizenship. But generally speaking, the LARP is Democrats say they should stay, Republicans say they should be deported. And what side am I on? Neither of them, because Democrats and Republicans alike very clearly do not know what they're talking about here, and they have no clue how border managing works in this country. They just want to score political points. So, first off, let's look at what Republicans say. You probably know what they say because it's been a very big issue for the past decade. They broke the law by coming here to live without being citizens, and they should be deported. Donald Trump, the president elect, ran his campaign on mass deportations on day one, in which he aims at getting around 11 million people out of the country. Good luck on that, buddy. Here's the problem with this logic: it doesn't work. People who came here illegally didn't all just cross the border, and they aren't as easy to deport as you may think. Many of them are workers who are a net gain to our country's economy. Deporting them would basically be a kiss of death to many US businesses who rely on immigrant labor. And it's kind of obvious why many businesses like to hire illegals. You can pretty much strong arm them because they don't have much room to complain. Want to have employees you can pay badly, give little to no benefits, and treat abysmally? You're in luck, Mr. Evil Boss. The Honduran migrants are here at your service. The caricature Republicans give to illegals are usually pretty off the mark as well. I mean, you may have heard consistently that illegal immigrants are violent and they commit a bunch of crime in America, and for that they need to go because the country is just not safe with illegals here. Uh, that's another bad argument that makes zero sense because who goes through so much trouble to enter a country whose language they probably don't even speak or know just to commit crimes and risk deportation? Like, that just doesn't happen. And not only is this not true, but illegals are less likely than US citizens to commit crimes. But like nobody seems to look at that fact. Like they actually follow the law better than we do. If you ever see someone driving comparatively slow, they're probably an illegal immigrant because they're not going to risk going over the speed limit to get pulled over. Illegal immigrants are not prone to committing crimes any more than a US citizen, and in fact, there's a lot of more obvious reasons for them to not want to do this. And Democrats also have a very dumb view on immigration. You probably know the common Democrat opinion on immigration. Generally speaking, when elected, Democrats will have a modest stance supporting pathways to citizenship for migrants. But what's the common Democrat talking point or liberal talking point? No human being is illegal. Build bridges, not walls. This sign right here. They especially love doing all this during the Trump presidency, and they're going to be doing this very soon, so get ready for it. Democrats want you to believe they're the saviors of immigrants, and it's insane to insinuate illegal immigration can ever be an issue. Well, first things first, illegal immigration can, yes, be an issue at times. And yes, humans can be illegally in nations they shouldn't be in. If I go to North Korea, I'm probably not coming back to this country. Uh, and I don't think anybody's ever going to see me again. There's no one world government. As long as nation states exist, there's going to be citizens of those nation states, and there's going to be citizens that cannot just walk into a nation state. A vetting process has to exist. And regarding that savior complex on immigration, That's really funny to hear considering that Joe Biden and Barack Obama have combined deported way more people than Donald Trump did. Also, you remember that kids in cages debacle during Trump's presidency? Yeah, that started under Obama and Biden continued it. Earlier this year, a very right-wing border bill was brought through Congress that may have well have been called the Donald Trump Act, and most Democrats were all for it. Then, after that, Biden signed an executive order that basically gutted hopes for new refugees seeking asylum here. You can't have your cake and eat it too. The only difference between Democrats and Republicans in this territory, if we're being honest on a governing standpoint, is that Republicans are just honest. They don't like immigrants, and Democrats, on the other hand, will allow them to be deported and mistreated pretty much the same as with Republicans, but they'll still place this stupid ass sign on their front yard when they can use it to, own the conservatives. So, what's the ideal solution? Quite simple, actually. Strengthen the border. If Trump and MAGA want to put up a wall that really won't do anything to stop immigration, go ahead, let them. Border security is essential, whatever, but also allow for a vetting process. If it's a parent and their child or children, allow them to claim asylum. If it's someone looking to work in the United States, allow them a worker's permit. Hell, everyone already here who isn't a problem, just grant them amnesty and just don't make them citizens, but allow for a path to residency, and perhaps maybe later on down the road, citizenship can become a subject to discuss. And if someone has a record of violent crime, don't let them in. If they're gang affiliated, don't let them in. If someone comes into the US and then commits a violent crime, go ahead and deport them. See, it's really not that hard, is it? It's more simple than it seems once you really take time to think about it outside of a two-party lens. Now watch as Republicans and Democrats continue their infinity LARP.